Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Som TV podcast. My name is Jason Wise. I am here with Irakli Gilauri, who is a revolutionary, well, will be a revolutionary person in the Georgian wine space. Georgia, of course, we've been covering a lot for good reason. We have a brand new film right now called Echoes of Wine that is airing this moment on Som TV. So if you're not a Som TV subscriber, you don't need a better reason than a brand new film about it.
Absolutely.
A
Great
country.
movie.
Yeah, thank
I
you.
watched it. Amazing movie.
You're one of the few people who have seen it, so it does make me very happy to know. That film is streaming right now. Brand new film about a country that has 8,000 years of wine innovation and wine just basically shepherding and creating the entire wine culture that exists in the entire world. It's just an incredible story of a culture that has found a way to survive in the face of, oh boy, how many empires have gone through your country?
But it's difficult to count.
Yeah,
everybody who's not lazy,
has tried.
We were on a crossroads, so everybody was trying to conquer us. Oh, not trying, they conquered us many times. So.
Yeah. I want everybody to go to somtv.com, watch Echoes of Wine. But today, I'm going to speak with Irakli Gilauri about what I think is going to change the face of Georgian wine in a way that has not happened in 8,000 years.
I hope so.
Potentially, maybe get you in a little bit of trouble along the way.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I mean, I think the Georgians are very kind people.
Yes.
So there is a lot of togetherness with Georgia. So it's gonna be beautiful ride.
I feel a butt coming. But, all right, so first of all, let me have you introduce yourself. I guess before you do this, let me just do one thing.
Yeah.
We're jumping the gun a bit because I have an incredible story about you, about your wines, about what you're doing, and about your personality coming on Som TV later this year. So we're gonna jump ahead of that and tell your story a little bit right now on this podcast, because I can't contain myself. I've been very excited about your wines. I forced you to sit down with me today. And so I really do want you to introduce yourself and kind of tell people who you are, because they're going to wish they knew in about a year.
I am a Georgian winemaker, and my mission in life is to make the best wine in the world.
The best wine in the world.
Absolutely.
At least
that's my mission.
At least you've set the bar low. It's good.
Yeah, I mean, there will be a Mars also coming soon. So it's not that so the planet Mars. So we may have a vineyard there. But,
okay.
So far we are on Earth. So.
Fair enough. We're the best terroir in Mars. All right. So let me just ask you, as a Georgian, okay? Yeah. I'm going to ask you a simple question. How important is wine to the Georgians? I've asked this to everybody, in Georgia. This is now the third conversation I've had about this country. This will be a very different perspective.
I think basically it's the wine is life and death for Georgians. So Georgians believe that we exist as a nation because of the vineyards, grape, wine. Basically, it helped us to survive these empires. So we had a number of tools to survive these empire invasions, which we are between Russian, the Persian, and Ottoman empires, and of course Mongols, Romans were also there, etc. But I mean, constantly we are surrounded by these three big empires, and we were conquered. Probably 90% of our existence, maybe 85.
Sure.
So for Georgian beliefs, we believe as a nation, we believe that grapes and wine helped us to survive because it was part of our economy, and it made our economy move. The second, another tool.
You're talking for thousands of years.
Thousands of years, yeah. It's like as long as the Georgian history exists, vineyard and wine exists, and we're going to talk about that. And I think that the Georgian the wine and the viticulture positioning should be changed totally. This 8,000 years, Quevery wines, etc., it's a part of the story, but it's not the story. There's a bigger story, which we are missing out as a nation. Mm-hmm. And the 8,000 years, this Quevery winemaking is great stories, but it's part of the story. It's not the whole thing. And I think that to go back to your question about that is we have one very simple legend, and I believe more I am getting to know the people in the wine in Georgia as I'm starting to make the wine. More I believe it's a true story that when Georgians would go to war to defend its land, they would fix the wine on their uniforms. So if they died, that the wine would grow after them. And that's how important the vineyard and wine was for the nation. And that's what they were doing.
So they would put a vine on their
yeah,
uniform.
they fix on front, on the back. For instance, the Georgian rugby team has the vines. I mean, on their jerseys, on their back, just to demonstrate our culture.
So the idea is, if you get killed in battle, you'll
Yeah.
fall to the ground, and the vine will grow.
After you, basically, you would, okay, I fell on the battlefield, but I made this one vine to grow.
Huh. So I mean, that is a very deep love of grapes.
It's amazing, and basically, the culture is every family makes its own wine. Everybody is involved in winemaking. Everybody knows about the wine, etc. But basically, the culture of wine is mind blowing. What you see in Georgia, you've been in many. I mean, you tell me, you've been in many wine countries.
I have been in several, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, you have I mean, I am biased, obviously. You have ways to compare. I don't think that any nation compares with Georgia in terms of the culture of wine.
Yeah, I agree. I've said it numerous times. People who watch and listen to me are probably sick and tired of hearing me say that. I've really had my mind opened up. Being in Georgia has, and I'm not alone. I think a lot of people, if there are certain people who are open to experiences, and I'm very open. And going to Georgia, I was sort of transformed watching, you think of Italy, you think of France, and I've said this before, you think of, even Croatia and these countries that are very formed in wine. But then you go to Georgia and you realize wine is, it's such a more simple and way of life that is, even in those places, it is really, really part of the everyday thought, in a different way.
Yeah, and basically, I think that because of that culture of winemaking, it also gives which is great. It's amazing. The Query wines are great.
Do you want to explain what Query wines are? I mean,
yeah. So basically, you have this clay jar, egg-shaped, reverse egg-shaped, basically, which is buried in the ground, and it has the natural kind of temperature control, on the ground, etc. You had the sediments going down into this shape thing. So you have a lot of scientific stuff which was done long time ago, and we keep that tradition, and we keep that, and for us, it's a great, but that also did not allow us to make a different expression of terroir. So we are expressing the terroir only one way with Query.
Right. Well, one thing that struck me is going to Georgia, being around, the different wine regions. They would always be like, "Would you like to try our Query wine, or would you like to try our European style wine?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "European style wine? What are you talking about?" And it turns out they just mean they're making it in barriques, or they're making it in barrels, or it's just
stainless steel.
Stainless steel.
Yeah.
And they call that European style, which I find so interesting.
But European styles usually like a 90%, 95% more means industrial also.
That's a shame.
Yeah, I mean, basically it's done only industrial way. To be honest, because of the Query, there is a less focus on terroir. The problem is also that we had the communists when communists came into Georgia in early 20th century. Basically, they kept they wanted the volume. They did not want any quality. So there was no research, no development, nothing on terroir focused fine wines. It's none, zero.
I really want to. The Soviets really screwed things up with the wine situation.
Not only wine. I mean, there's one.
No, just wine. No,
just wine. The rest was good.
The Soviets were great. Everything else. No, but I look at, obviously I've been in countries that were former Soviet bloc countries, and boy, did they screw up the wine. I mean, they just
they did. Yeah.
Armenia, Georgia, Crimea, Ukraine, all these places that I feel like we're making some of the great wines of the world at some point in their life. Then we're just set back 500 years. It's almost like
basically, if you roll back 100 years, and there are some books about the Georgian viticulture, and we were way ahead of some of the European countries. Well,
how could you not be? You're making wine longer.
Yeah, exactly. So then we had 100 years. There was a huge progress in winemaking, and there we had a zero progress.
Yeah.
So now we sit here. After the communism and after 35 years of independence, We obviously, what we did in 35 years, we did a great thing that we revived this Quavery. I mean, there was always during communist time, we also always had a Quavery wine.
But
Winemaking.
they were kind of hidden back. They were in people's yards. They were
Yeah. It
personal,
was like
right?
it was not like now. It was like the even we had a prohibition during the communist times, and Georgians kept making wine.
Yeah.
I had my father, guests at my house, and I asked my mother, what's happening? Why I know that there is a prohibition. How can we have the wine? I said, this communists are having the prohibition. They cannot prohibit Georgians from drinking wine.
Yeah.
So basically, anyway, in prohibition we were drinking the wine still. But basically, I think the issue is that because no terroir focused winemaking for 100 years, we don't have anything else to offer than the Quavery wine. But the story, Georgian story, I think that it's a terroir story.
Let me ask you flat out. I mean, because I think this is something that you're very passionate about. Do you think that Georgia has, we'll use the word terroir, but do you think it has land and site-specific vineyards as good as Burgundy or Bordeaux or the great places of the world that have defined what it means to make wine from a place?
These are the great terroirs, these great wines, but they are not original ones.
Right.
Original to Vitis vinifera. So basically, what has happened that Vitis vinifera was domesticated on the South Caucasus territory. I don't like to talk about Georgia. It's South Caucasus, where you had a biodiversity, very high biodiversity.
Sure.
In mid-temperate climate zones, is a height wherever the Vitis vinifera grows. This is the only place which survived the Ice Age. So Caucasus Mountains, which are the 16,000 feet tall, or more, 70,000 feet tall, basically kept the ice coming through the Caucasus Mountains, and the two seas, Caspian Sea and Black Sea, the breeze around it kept it warmer, so the Ice Age could not destroy the biodiversity, basically. So that's why you have in Georgia way more oak trees, type of oak trees. For instance, we have, for instance, 25 in Europe. There's 2, or in US, basically. So nematodes or what have you is like a
Nematode worms.
Yeah, it's very important for terroir. 8,000 we have, so we have like 1,000 or 2,000. So basically, it's a big difference in biodiversity.
It's just a hotspot of living things.
Yeah, in mid-temperate climate zone. You in Africa, in the South America, you have a great biodiversity. The Ice Age never went there, but basically in mid-temperate climate zones, when the Vitis vinifera grows, there is the only place with biodiversity in mid-temperate climate zone. Because of that, the Vitis sylvestris and was flourishing on the territory, and domestication of the Vitis sylvestris happened into the Vitis vinifera. And these 4 domestications are scientifically proven. There are research reports, but nobody talks about it. And I'm disseminating these reports. So the scientists did, not only Georgian, European scientists did this research, joint research for 15 years. They were doing it. The only 4 domestication cases are known in the world today. Maybe there are more, but as of today, there are only 4 domestications. All 4 happened in South Caucasus, and all of the Vitis viniferas were spread through these 4 families. So these 4 families, basically, for instance, Saperavi, which we are going to drink, is the father or great father of Cabernet Sauvignon or Cabernet Franc. So basically, DNA test shows that all the Vitis viniferas come to the 4 families. So basically, for Vitis vinifera, this terroir is where it was born. So you have tasted the great terroirs, Burgundy, Bordeaux, Barolo, great terroirs. Napa, excellent terroir. We are in Napa now.
We're in Napa right now.
Excellent wines. Mind-blowing Napa wines. There's no question. But the person never tasted the original Vitis vinifera where it was born. So the terroir belongs to, that's where the whole thing started. So you haven't tasted the terroir. You tasted the terroir, but expressed only one way, or 2 ways, industrial and Quavery way. So what I'm trying to do is to match different terroir and different type of winemakings to get so for instance, I have 40 hectares, more than 30 blocks, and I make wine, 10 different ways. So I want to cut the time of 100 years of no research and development and matching
Sure.
and mixing and matching the different grape varieties with different terroirs. So I have like 5 totally different terroirs. And the Cajete, and the Cajete is very rich in the terroir diversity. Is like amazing.
I can't wait for people to see, and we'll show a little bit in
Yeah.
the video version of this of what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But for people to actually see what you are doing, I think you're crazy. I'm not going to lie, but also too, I'm tasting the
Very
wine,
crazy.
and I think, God, it's real tough. I tend to be very passionate and speak in hyperbole and all these things, but I mean, like, I think that if I blinded somebody on this, we're drinking Chardonnay from a block that is high up above
Yeah.
where you do your wine.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful spot, by the way. But
It is amazing.
I mean, honestly, this is kind of it's got a Merceau type of a. I mean, I would not. I mean, I don't know anybody who could say this is from Georgia.
Yeah.
But I want to ask you a question that I think that could get me in trouble. How do you feel about planting something like Chardonnay in a place where you have these grapes that are from there, that grow there, that are native? I mean, do you get blowback of people saying, why are you planting Chardonnay when you've got, you can name 10 white wines that you could be planting?
We are bringing these wines back to home. The Chardonnay. Chardonnay is very great brothers. It's basically in Georgia. So we bring them at home and then taste the Chardonnay from its home country, how it tastes, versus the adopted Burgundy Chardonnay. Which, I mean, it's a great Chardonnay. I mean, it's great wine. But, this is a 3-year vineyard, okay?
Yeah, it tastes incredible.
We are
honestly,
going to taste the Sapera, which is a 35-year vineyard. But basically, this is a 3-year vineyard. How can 3-year vineyard taste like this?
I mean, you've thrown everything you have at this. I know. And that's why I can't wait for people to see this, because it is a man on a mission with no backup plan. You are going to make the best wine humanly possible as fast as you can. And watching you do this is pretty amazing. I mean,
and the reason I'm going to make a big, not because, I'm just like doing magic, because we have a terroir where the Vitis vinifera was born. This is the original Vitis vinifera. So I go and take the best of the best terroirs. We digged around 50 pits around the Georgia. We tested the soil structures, etc. The meteo stations. We took all the information, exposures, the elevations, everything. And basically, we think that we got one of the top 5 sites in Cajete, which Cajete is at the best.
Cajete is basically, for people who don't know, it's your Burgundy or Bordeaux or whatever. It's the best wine growing region.
It is, yeah. So basically, and the best thing about Cajete, you have a very different soil structures. So you have a soil structure of sand and volcanic gravel. From Caucasus Mountains, you have like a big gravel, black gravel slate from the Caucasus Mountains of, the 17,000 or 16,000 feet brought down by the river to the, it's not that, but basically on the valley. And then you have my vineyard just on the foothills of Caucasus Mountain. And basically, that terroir is, you cannot make it. I mean, it's unimaginable. It's uncopyable, basically. And you have a very special wine, and we're gonna taste this Sapera also there.
I mean, for wine geeks, listen, this is very different than the previous episodes we've done, because how do I say this? Because I don't want to sound. There is nothing wrong with making a wine that is approachable and for everyone. You are making, am I out of line in saying you're trying to make a luxury wine? You're trying to make something that is at a very high level, not luxury in the way that like you're not supposed to drink it. Or it's not like only at special occasions. I just mean it's an elevated, like a first growth or something.
Yeah,
right? I mean,
sure. But basically, I think that, I don't want to
Irakli, let me just say, the first time you had me taste one of your wines, you pulled out first growths, and they had a lot of age on them, like a Cheval Blanc and Haut-Brion and these wines that you put in front of me, and then you made me blind taste these wines that are at the top. I mean, the guts, the gall, the insane audacity of being like, here are these 3 wines in front of you, or 4 wines. One is my Georgian wine, and the other 3 are the best wines of the world. What do you like? I've never had anybody have that kind of guts. And honestly, it blew my mind. I was like, and on top of it, honestly, your wine showed incredibly well, and I didn't know which one was which. And what a smart way. I just want people to interject that what my relationship is with you. That's how I walked into your wines, is you were just absolutely fearless. Fearless.
Because we have the best terroir. We have terroir where the Vitis vinifera was born. How can it go wrong? You just need to, respect the terroir, vineyard, and try to express the best. I mean, we've been doing the wine for 5 years. Every year we were making the same block in 5 to 7 different ways. So, and to pick and choose the best way to express the terroir.
I guess this is a tough question, but I've asked this to winemakers all around the world. Are you trying to make a Burgundy? Are you trying to make something that is in a style of that? Because I'll tell you, it smells like it. I mean, it really does.
No, I mean, what we want to do is to express the Georgian terroir. That's what we are doing. And I think that each wine has its own kick of Georgian terroir. I mean, here you have a lot of chalk. We talked about the volcanic, such as this magnetic sand and the volcanic rocks, but this is basically different terroir. This is a high elevation, chalk, lime, and clay together, sandy lime and clay. Basically, it's amazing subsoil. We'll be showing that subsoil there. So, and then if you have that, on high elevation, it's very elegant. You don't have a lot of heat. Your growing degree days are lower. You have a huge change between the midday heat and the at night.
Yeah.
So it's and with chalk gives a lot of freshness, a lot of acidity, length. pH is below 3.3.
So it's different. If you're in Burgundy, you go, this is my North Star. I want to make Le Perrier Vineyard of Mercy.
Yeah.
You have a North Star, but you don't know, according to you at least, you don't know what the best expression of the best terroir is. So how do you know if you're doing what you wanted to do? I mean,
well, basically I'm taking the bets.
Yeah.
But it's a calculated bet because we have a soil analysis structure. So overall, we think that it's a great terroir for Chardonnay. And we waited for 3 years. I mean, you don't know how nervous I was for our 3 years of taking care of this vineyard and planting. There was no water, nothing there basically. And
it's a pretty remote spot too, I have to say.
It is very remote spot.
Like going up there and being there, people will see. I mean, we were in your car. It's pretty muddy, pretty hard to get up there.
Yeah.
I gotta say, that's God. I can only imagine the challenge of planting up there.
Yeah, I mean, it was like crazy. But anyway, and then you wait after 3 years. But is it close enough what we wanted? And for 3-year-old vineyard, it just shows. It's like wow. There is one. I will be very open. There is one spot where we thought the Cabernet Sauvignon would be great. We had a riverbed basically of 2 former riverbeds meeting each other, and there is also the water when there is snow melts in mountains. It's not water all the time. It's like a peninsula of and then you have you plant on the riverbed basically. It's all river rocks, and we thought it was perfect to Cabernet Sauvignon. So far, it's not showing well.
Yeah.
So we don't know. Maybe time passes, maybe it would work. But so some sites are not that great. So out of let's say 40 hectares and I don't know 30 blocks and 10 from 10 we are at 9 grape varieties. So I think we may end up with 10 hectares or 7 hectares and 3 grape varieties or 4 grape varieties.
I mean, you're trying to do what the monks in France did over 400 years in 10. That's crazy.
I mean, in the search of but basically, if you take every nation, every wine nation, and like France, Italy, Spain, California here,
Sure.
they have big wines, and they are like locomotives. I call the project La Locomotive because basically you need to have a locomotive that if the fine wine world accepts it and recognize it, then the country gonna, just people will follow,
Sure.
and they will see the difference in pricing. Obviously, people will follow, and I think that the Georgian wine will be diversified away from Russia. Our dependency, Georgia's dependency on Russia is only on wine now, nothing else. Energy, we are independent from Russia. But basically, right now, 60% plus of the wine is exported to Russia.
That is an interesting thing to think.
65. So, which is basically, if we build this locomotive well, we can diversify as a nation very profitably away from the single export market, where we depend a lot. Dependency on that market is huge for the viticulture of Georgian viticulture, and I think that the terroir focused winemaking, which is basically original of the Vitis vinifera, where the birth of Vitis vinifera is. It's not a birth of the wine; it's a birth of Vitis vinifera. Wine was born there because Vitis vinifera was born before that. So 11,000 years ago was discovered first the Vitis vinifera.
Grape piths.
Grape piths. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that 8,000 years ago was winemaking, but that was discovered. But basically, that's what I'm saying. The 8,000 years and Qvevri is part of the story. The story is the Vitis vinifera's original terroir is that place, it's Georgia, and basically we need to respect this terroir. Not the only Qvevri, but we need to experiment and do the wine in different ways.
Sure.
We do in concrete tanks, we do it in amphoras, Italian amphoras, we do in the barrels, we do in stainless steel. We age it differently, we age in different type of barrels, we age in amphoras as well. So we just need to express the terroir in different ways.
Sure. So you're not trying to get
Different
rid of clay. You're not trying to get rid of.
No. I'm just saying that we Georgians are very loyal people. And when you are doing the 8,000 years wine in the same way, Georgians are doing very loyal to the Qvevri. So it's a very difficult to say, okay, we invented the wine, we invented the Qvevri, and we have been making this wine in this amphoras buried in ground, and it's our duty to continue doing it, which is great, and I think we should. But also, we try this terroir which we have, unique terroir where the Vitis vinifera was born. Maybe we try to express it different way, not only one way. And I think that is the bigger story. Then it's a bigger story where the Qvevri and 8,000 years is part of the story.
Sure.
Basically.
Will you ever make any wine in Qvevri ever?
I think I tried to make it for a couple of years. I've been doing the Qvevri, but I think that my Georgian compatriots are doing way better than I can do in the Qvevri, and maybe I can do marginally better or marginally worse. But my value add in that quest for Qvevri is very limited.
Right.
So I would rather spend my time, resources, and everything to discovering new ways of expressing the terroir, ancient terroir. Then my compatriots are doing really well, and I think that my value add and it's not that great. So I think that we have a great Qvevri wines, and I think this should continue.
I want to ask you about oak.
Yes.
You use French oak.
Yes.
Why not Caucasian oak? Why not oak that's native?
Because I would need to do a similar investment in the oak forests.
And you don't have 65, 70 years to.
Yeah,
to
so
do it?
no, because basically these oak forests are, if you go, and I did research about that, and the oak to arrive on that quality, that thing, etc., you need 100 years.
Yeah.
It's almost impossible to do. Even my grandchildren won't be able to do it. The way the French have mastered the barrel making,
Yeah.
it's another science.
Yeah, I don't think anyone would disagree with you.
So
there. Yeah.
so basically it is, I can get on that project, But I think that it's not worth it. I think that by time to focus on the expressing Georgian terroir with French barriques,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
okay.
That's for you to link all of these things. This is some pretty heady stuff. For you to have to go, look, our people depend on this. I mean, you're talking about dependent. If you look up Georgia and you say, what are its main exports? What are its main commodities? Wine is at the top. Wine is at the top of what your value to your country. So
Yeah.
for you, you're talking major things to go, we're going to try to move 40 to 60% of our export value to a different place by making it better
Yes.
or making it different, however you want to
Different way.
subjectively
Yeah,
say.
yeah,
I know,
yeah.
look, I mean, I understand. But that's a tall order. I mean, Robert Mondavi, we're in Napa. Robert Mondavi had a whole goal. He was going to, make this incredible wine as good as the French and raise up Napa and try to make it so everybody raised. But what you're talking about is potentially changing the GDP of a country. I mean,
I know, but basically, I think that Robert Mondavi did the magic for the Napa.
but Robert Mondavi did.
But basically, the problem was that you did not have a wine culture. And you did not have a, vitis vinifera. You had a rootstock, but you didn't. But you don't have a vitis vinifera.
The rootstock's a complicated conversation because we also brought the problem too.
Yeah.
That's a different different podcast about phylloxera.
But basically, I think that I'm saying that I want to be like a French, and I take the French grape varieties and I plant here and I make a wine which is comparable to French. Is I think that easier mission than what we are doing in Georgia.
Okay.
Because in Georgia, I mean, I'm okay.
Well, here, let's.
This Chardonnay is.
Yeah, pour me some of your Saperavi here.
Yeah. So I'll pour it here.
Oh, sure.
So we have Saperavi, which very little number of people know.
I mean, look at the color of that.
And Cabernet Sauvignon,
shit.
Everybody knew Cabernet Sauvignon.
Ink.
Yeah, it's ink. And basically, why it is inky? Because it is the closest to Vitis Silvestris.
The fruit of Vitis Silvestris is red inside or no?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So it's actually white. It's not Vitis Silvestris. Actually, it's not Vitis Silvestris. It's white. It's not red. Because it became red afterwards when it was the UV light. It actually changed over time some of the grape varieties into red, and then it was transformed. But basically, the closest. So why these Georgian grape varieties? I mean, the Chardonnay, for instance, is far away. I'm sure the Chardonnay was developed, etc., in France, and it's a French, obviously, and the Cabernet Sauvignon is French. But its DNA tracks back to Georgian grape varieties. So Saperavi and Cabernet Sauvignon, DNA letters out of 169,000, only 2 is difference between Saperavi and Cabernet Sauvignon. So basically it's DNA traces.
What's the difference between that and something else? I mean, it is the same species.
Yeah, it's the same species. Yeah.
But if you were to take, is there anything where it's 40 letters away, or?
I mean, 2 Georgian grape varieties? No, there's 3 letters, or 4 letters away.
Okay.
So basically everything goes and traces back to that. So South Caucasus has around 1,500 Vitis vinifera varieties. I mean, Georgia has like 500 something, but the hotspot, what we have, what I call the Georgia, Armenia, Azerbaijan, northern Iran, eastern Turkey, that is the hotspot of the Vitis vinifera. That has nearly 1,500. So you have a 5,000 grape varieties, the Vitis vinifera varieties, and out of 5,000, the 1,500 is on that hotspot.
Still pretty dense there.
Yeah, very, very, very dense.
Yeah.
So it was obviously there was after the domestications and the crossings, etc. It was developed in France, the Cabernet Sauvignon and Chardonnay, etc. And obviously, but its DNA traced back.
Of course. And according to you, they're just on loan. You're taking them all back.
Yeah, but I think it's a little bit brutal because these guys run away from home and they've been living independently for many years.
That's right.
And then the guy comes and Georgia, okay, come back home now and stay at home with your parents. And they say, what are you doing with us, Irakli?
Yeah, you're taking Merlot and Cabernet and all of them and making them come home.
Yeah.
Okay. right, so now, what are the challenges, or maybe the things that are going to be in your benefit for marketing this, selling this? Because look, here's the thing. You make a great wine. And I often get like, people are like, you're always saying everything is great. I don't have shitty winemakers on my shows or my podcast. So of course, yes,
Yeah.
I'm always talking, this is
Yeah.
a very good wine. And the
Yeah.
wines are excellent. So, okay, you've done, what percentage of the work you have to do is making a fantastic wine? Is that
So
100% of the work? Is that 50% of the work? What is it?
so basically, the back then, I added some vineyards now, but I had around 25 hectares.
Mhm.
So 25 hectares of trial and error. I made different ways. So it's this one is only 1,200 bottles.
This is amazing, by the way. This is like
Yeah.
nothing I've ever tasted, but yet familiar in a strange way. You know, it's
Yeah.
made in a style I recognize, but it's not a grape I know. And I've had this before with you, so it's not my first time tasting this wine. But I will tell you, for people who have a chance, boy, this is really special. A great wine. Do you even sell this yet?
We are opening the mailing list. We'll get the registrations. So towards the year end, we're gonna do allocations.
You should do the mailing list soon, so people that are listening to this can join the mailing list.
Yeah, I mean they can join now. Like they can apply.
All right, we'll put that in the show notes,
Yeah.
or put it in the description so you
Yeah.
can. But all right, but anyway, so the tannins in this are very fascinating. They're very, very, very fine, you know, and yet it tastes like a wine that could age quite a long time to me. It's very interesting. Did you make this to drink now or to drink later?
I think the beauty of the thing, you can do both. I'm enjoying this even now. I mean,
Yeah, no,
I-
it's delicious. Man, I'd love to taste it in
Yeah.
15, 20 years. This would be.
Yeah, 15, 20, 25
This
years.
would
Like,
be-
I mean, the Saperavi problem and also the curse and the best thing is that it has a lots of tannins and it has a lot of. So basically we have a. So just to compare, I'm not saying that this is good or it is bad. So Saperavi has around 5,000 phenolic compounds. The Merlot, for instance, have 1,000.
Uh-huh.
So basically, to make a Saperavi is way more difficult because it has a lot of tannins, it has a lot of phenols, and there's a lot of different aromas. And how to blend all the things, it's way more difficult.
Yeah.
So, and then we were making the wine in one way, and we were doing pisage. When you do pisage, you obviously break the skin, and you have a lot of astringency from the tannins. So we don't do pisage with Saperavi. There is no pisage.
Interesting.
And we do a lot of very strange things which Georgians do not do. Like we do cold maceration, because cold maceration aromas love the water. The tannins love the alcohol. So when you do without cold maceration, you do a fermentation.
Mm-hmm.
You bring out. I mean, I want to share this with my Georgian friends.
Why don't Georgians
So-
do cold maceration? I mean, the French do it all the time.
Because traditionally Georgians do Cuevre, and we are very loyal people to Cuevre.
Are you
So we
getting?
cannot.
Are people? Is there backlash to what you're doing at all, or no?
Georgians actually, they are curious. You
Yeah.
know what I'm doing. So basically, and they are very supportive, and that's what I love about Georgians. Basically, even though I'm kind of not in their camp in terms of winemaking,
Sure.
they respect that.
Okay.
Unfortunately, not all the nations are like that.
Yeah, I do understand. I mean, they're very. Georgians are incredibly.
I mean,
nice.
you are there. I mean, you have not heard
I've been there
Georgians
twice
talking.
now, and I'll be back there
The
again.
Georgians do not put mouse.
No.
So I mean, it's like for them, it's disrespect.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the great traits of Georgian nation.
I was actually told, whenever we go to a new country, we always look up like, what are the social things you can't do and shouldn't do? In Japan, if you point, it's very, very, very disrespectful to point. And other countries have their own little things. And in Georgia, do you know what came up first? No matter what you think, never say something bad about somebody's wine. I swear to God.
Yeah.
I was like, holy.
Yeah,
and they're like, because a lot
exactly.
of people, they consider their wines like their children. You don't say something bad.
Oh,
I mean,
it's basically we don't say, we cannot say. If you say it, it's like it's not a. insult. It's like I don't know what it is. You better beat up somebody.
Well, it's like saying something terrible about your son or your daughter.
Oh
I mean,
yeah,
which hurts. It hurts you in a
It's
place that you only understand if you have children.
exactly.
If somebody hurts your child, you
it's
feel
like
it deeply. And
you cannot say it's something you emotional hurt the person. You know, you cannot do it. I mean, I think we Georgians understand that, and we respect each other's wines a lot.
I was with you. Spoilers for the art project coming up with Pierre Werton as the winemaker at Chef de Chem. I watched you knock him upside down with a blind tasting that is going to be probably get us all in trouble. But what besides that moment? What's been the French response to tasting your wine? And I know you prefer to do it blind. You always are putting it blind with the great wines of the world, which I think is just phenomenally interesting that you have the guts to do this.
Basically, I say that, you know, look, I don't want to tell you that I have a great wine and you taste it. I mean, you need to basically decide yourself whether this wine is great or not.
Sure.
Whatever I tell you is like doesn't make it. It has a zero value basically.
Okay.
Whatever you
because it's your wine, sure.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. So basically, I want people blindly to taste side by side greatest Napa wines, great Bordeaux wines, with the Saperawi and other. I mean, we have another great wine coming up. 25. We have a big discovery of Cabernet Franc, blended Cabernet Franc and Saperavi together. It's gonna be amazing wine. That's another one, and I think that more people blind taste my wine with greatest wines, more faster will be recognition because I know this is a great wine. I mean, I come from the collecting the wine. I collected the wine more than 25 years. And I tasted, just name the wine, basically. And I try to be objective. Obviously, it's difficult to be objective. But my ambition is to have the wine stand alongside of these guys. I mean, I say that I want to make the best wine in the world, but this is my marketing trick. So people start talking about this is a crazy guy or he's an idiot, you know, etc. But it's fine. But the thing is, but basically, I know that we by this wine gonna stand side by side with the top French, top Napa, top Italian wines, no matter what. And my goal is in 25 years, you know, when the wine appreciator is asked, you know, name me top 5 wines, I want them that one of them it will be the my wine. That's the goal. That's a mission in life. I have. When I'm 75, I'm 50 now. When I'm 75,
I want your wine to be in the top 25 of the world.
Top 5 in the world.
Top 5. All right.
25 is like, I mean.
Let me ask you, your wines. This is here. We'll end it with this. You're named the top. You're the number 5 wine in the world. Best wine from every publication, whatever. What's number 6?
Nobody knows. That's why I want to be no top 5.
No better way to go out. That's Irakli, you are an amazing, wild character. I'm so glad to be doing this with you. And you know, you're probably the kick in the butt Georgia needs in ways that it doesn't realize it needs. Now, I happen to love the wines. I love the Quevri wines. I love the story of Georgia. I hope it doesn't change totally, but I will say it'd be nice to see it walk into the next 8,000 years prepared. If that makes any sense.
It's gonna be great, right? I love what I do, and it's most importantly that I am privileged to get on that mission.
Yeah.
I'm a very lucky man to find that there is different ways of expressing Georgian terroir can lead to the way better wines for me.
Yeah.
And we can be put on the fine wine world map. And in collector cellars, that's what where this wine will end up. And I always say I'm collecting bad wine because all good wines I drink. I want the same collectors to. I don't want this wine in the cellar. I want from the cellar to the table.
Yeah.
You know, it's but I hope that we have these people who are gonna enjoy this wine a lot.
Yeah. Well, good luck, and also your wines are fantastic, Irakli. Cheers, my friend.
My pleasure.
Yeah. I also want to tell everybody, make sure you watch our brand new film on Som TV, Echoes of Wine, about the 8,000-year story of survival, culture, and of course, wine. It's at somtv.com, streaming on any device. And man, we cannot wait to share some Georgian wine with you. Everybody be safe and drink something that has a lot of tradition. Talk soon.